Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So Ford Focus is back. So today we're going to be doing two different jobs on this car. Hopefully we can get it all done on this video. So recently we've been seeing the car is consuming a bit of coolant. Also the brake fluid level has been dropping. So we'll start with the brake fluid stuff first. We've checked all the brakes, checked all the hoses, checked for any obvious leaks. Can't see anything leaking, but the fluid is going somewhere. So I think I've cracked it. It's down here, clutch master. So put it like there. So down there, you might not see it on this part here, but I'll show it once this part comes out. We can see it's a bit wet around the clutch pedal, around the clutch master there. And I have seen these where they leak into the cabin and you lose your clutch. So we got this new part, which is a genuine Ford part. Take it out of the box. So this one's a bit redesigned. It's got a metal rod on it, not the plastic one, which is what most of the older ones had. So we're going to get this swapped out, and in order to do that we have to take out the clutch pedal assembly, and also get this open. Had to remove a lot of the stuff here because there's two pipes going in there, and there's a rubber seal that is very important that we don't lose. So a lot of stuff to remove over here, all this engine covers, the intake pipes, wipers, the cowling, all of it. And then the coolant level, we pressure tested the car off camera and we found there's two pipes going into the heater core and they are getting wet and the car is losing coolant. So off by the center of the subframe, at the back of the subframe I mean, we can see coolant dripping down there. So we've got genuine hoses, all the clamps, everything that's needed, all the brackets, new coolant, new brake fluid. So on this video I'm going to take you step by step. Let's get all this stuff off and get these parts swapped out. So going to get set up and then let's get going. Okay, so I've got the cowling and the wiper arms removed, also got the airbox and the intake pipe disconnected as well. Put them away safe, and I'll put a microfiber cloth here and just with a rubber band secured it so nothing goes in here. So if we get down here, we're trying to get to those two plastic pipes over there for the clutch master. And if I go in through here, so these two pipes here are the two pipes that go into the heater core. If I just move around here, I'm not sure if this will pick it up because it's so deep in there, but you can see that the left hand hose looks very wet, especially around the clip area, and material below it as well looks all wet. So this is where the coolant is leaking from, so we got all new pipes to go there. So now I'm going to move on disconnecting the clutch stuff first. We're going to do that first, and then we'll have to move inside, start stripping some of the interior parts, some panels, and then we can get the clutch pedal assembly out, and then we can swap it all over. So let's get going with that one. Okay, so I had to remove a few more things. I put a old towel across the wing here because we're working with brake fluid. We don't want to get any of that on the paint because it will cause a lot of damage. So I removed all the intake pipes and now we can get in there. So put the light above this. So I removed both of the pipes that go into the clutch master, and just gonna place the phone in the corner here. So this lower pipe, if you look, there's like a rubber O-ring almost on that pipe. which is very important that we don't lose this. Most of the times they get stuck inside the old master and you have to pick it out with a little pick tool, but we got lucky with this one. It came out with the pipe. So what I've done is I put a microfiber underneath it, so if it does come off and fall, it will fall onto the microfiber and not into the bottom of the engine bay. So when it's closer to time and we are pulling this out from the inside, I'm going to make sure this pipe is moved out of the way so it doesn't come into contact and drag that rubber piece or damage it. But yeah, so that's what you got to do. It's just got a built-in clip that you have to push down. You don't have to fully take the clip out, you just have to move it down and then you can take it off. Now the top hose, well, pipe I suppose, it connects onto side of the brake fluid reservoir here. What I've done is I've disconnected it up here and I've got nothing to block it off with, so I've just put a bit of masking tape, duct tape on there. Seems to be doing the job. It wasn't leaking all that much anyway, so but we just covered it so nothing will drip down here and make a mess. And then once this side's connected, you can move the pipe around a little bit more and you can get to the bottom one. So now I'm going to go and start stripping the rest of the stuff on the inside, which I will show you, and then we can get this swapped out. Also, while we're here, if I can go back to that coolant, now that we can get more into it, look closely at that left hand hose. Just where it's connecting, you can see it's all wet. So this is going to be our next job today once the clutch master has been sorted out, but we'll get onto that in a bit. So let's go inside now and start removing all the panels and start unbolting everything necessary to get this out. Okay, so I've got the clutch pedal assembly out and here it is. So if I raise this up, it's leaking right there. It's not a big leak, we didn't lose the clutch pedal, car didn't break down anywhere, but if we left this for a little bit longer, that could have been the case. So I've got the new part here, and in this one you can see this bit here, it's different, it's been redesigned, it's plastic, that's the metal one. So hopefully this will fix our issue and the brake fluid level will stay the same. So to take these off, you have these nuts that go here, 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 and over here. These three are pretty simple, you can get to it, they're pretty straightforward. But this one at the top there is the most difficult one because it's located right up there and you can hardly see it. So when I first went to disconnect this, I thought there was only three, and you can see them, the studs sticking out there. You got two there, another one up there, and you can't see the other one. But if you go all the way up, you can see it right up there, hiding at the top. So that one's going to be the hardest one to take off, and be patient when taking it out. You got to take off all these sensors and move all this wiring out the way. Also, this frame up here, you'll find that it gets caught on the frame as well, so be patient, don't go to pull on it too much because there's a lot of plastic items that can break. Also, these sensors that go on the pedal, disconnect them because it's easier, gives you a little bit more space as well. I've also had to disconnect the steering, so what I did was I marked it, so marked it on there and back there, so now I know it goes back in the same position. And make sure once it's disconnected that you don't go to grab on the steering wheel and move it around. So now I'm gonna do a bit of cleaning, get this swapped over. To swap this over, there's a clip right here, got to pop that clip off, and then this part here, you can just twist it and it will come off, and then the new one will get it put back in place. So I'm going to get that done and then show you the new part on this pedal assembly. So let's go. Okay, so got it all swapped over, new part is all in. It's the old one over there. So I'll explain how to take this out using both of these parts. So what you got to do is, there's a clip here, one on the other side. So if you press that in, turn it over, press this one in, and while you're pressing this one in, if you twist this, it will come off. And then when you put it in, line this up, get it all lined up, twist it in, and then if you slowly press the pedal back, the clip will automatically find its place. That's what I found the easiest way to fit this, and just take your time because it's all plastic. So now this is ready to go in. However, I'm not going to put that in just yet. Reason being, I can get to the two hoses that go into the heater core a little bit better without the clutch master being in there. I can get my hands in there, got a little bit more space. So I'm going to disconnect these two hoses now. I'm going to put something there so no coolant accidentally goes inside the cabin, and we'll get these hoses disconnected, swapped out, and then we can jump back into the getting the master cylinder in. So I'm going to do that next, and I'll show you that bit next. Let's go. Okay, so I got the heater core hoses off, left and right hand side one. They're a pain to remove, so I'll show you on the new ones. I got the new ones here. So this is the left hand side one, and they've got this tab that, you know, it's like a locking clip, and it's all fine now. When it's new, it's easier to use, but on the old ones, they're just a pain to remove. And I bought this tool which is supposed to go on like so, and hard to do this one hand. It's supposed to go like that, and then you can squeeze the edges and you can turn it. But when it's in there, it helps, but it doesn't fully remove it. And what I found was, if you get a long flat blade screwdriver and you place it there and you gently tap it, not too hard, but gently tap it, you should see this. So if it was there, for example, in the lock position, put it there, tap it, you should see it move. And when it moves from there to there, like so, it's unlocked, and then you can disconnect it. Now, you can't pull these out, you have to turn them slightly, and then it will release. So it's a little bit of a fiddle, but we got both of them off, and you have to leave them on the unlock position going in, and then once it's in place, you can lock them in place, and then you can pull them back to make sure that they're locked in place. This is the right hand one. Now they go down here. Got one connection which I've tucked, which is right there. So that's the bottom one. That's the right hand side one. The left hand side one connects onto there. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but right there where I'm pointing, that's where that joint is. So that one's easy enough to remove. It's just got a normal hose clamp there. I don't know why they can't do that on that one, but anyway, doesn't matter. We got them off. New ones are ready to go on, so I'm going to get that on, and then we can finally get the clutch master back in as well. The only reason why I didn't put it on, as I said before, you don't have that much space there, and you got the AC pipe going right above it, right in front of it as well, that little pipe, so you don't have the best accessibility. So it's a bit helpful having clutch master out of the way. Also, another thing, when you're draining these pipes and disconnecting, when you're draining the coolant and disconnecting these pipes, you will get some coolant go everywhere. As you can see, there's a little bit on top of the gearbox here. Make sure you put something here, because if it goes down there, it will go into your gearbox. And this pipe here, which I've tucked out of the way, sits right about there. So you want to make sure that nothing goes in there, and you have further problems down the road. Anyway, I'm going to now get this back assembled, get these new hoses in, get it all connected, and then show you the next step. Then we can move on to the clutch master. So let's go. Okay, so Finally got the intercooler hoses in or locked in place. Left and right hand side. Also got all the clips for them, so might not pick it up, but they go down here through the one connects right here, and then the other one is right there. See what I mean about how it's on top of the gearbox? But yeah, so that's all now complete. Put the sound tubing, all that in. So now we can continue with the clutch master. So I'm going to get that in and then show you the next bit. Let's go. Okay, so got the clutch master in. Just finished bleeding it as well. I've got this bleeder here hooked up to the brake fluid reservoir, pressurized it, and then down here on top of the gearbox, you've got the leak nipple there. You can undo it and bleed it from there. What we did to get the process started was we pressurized this, and then we also pumped it a little bit by hand, and then that got the fluid flowing a little bit quicker, and then we were able to just let it bleed through, get all the air out. We have got our pedal back now, and it's a bit of a mess here. I've got to clear up. Go back down here, get up there. You can see the new part sitting in there nicely, and it's all nice and dry. Nothing's leaking, nothing's wet. I've also got all the sensors, everything plugged in, put back in place. Double checked all the nuts, make sure they're all tight. Also put back the steering back to the mark that I marked earlier on when I was removing it. So now I've got to get these last few pieces all bolted up. There's a panel that goes on here, this bolts onto it, and that clips onto it. And then we're gonna finish up on the interior. Then we can get all this cowling, wiper arms, all of this other stuff on, and then we're going to give this a test drive. So hopefully we don't have to bleed the clutch again, but if it comes down to it, we'll bleed it again. We have already bled it twice, but sometimes these can be a little bit funny where it doesn't fully bleed and becomes a bit spongy, so you might have to do this a few times, but I'm hoping that we don't need to do it anymore. But let's see how it goes. So I'm going to get the rest of this all buttoned up now. Quite a lot of stuff still to put back, and then go from there. Like I said before, when you're working with brake fluid, be careful. I put towels and microfiber cloths everywhere just to make sure that if anything leaks, it catches it and it doesn't go on the car, especially the paintwork. So this is advice. If you're doing this yourself, just got any old towel or a wing cover, just put it on there to protect your paint. Alright, let's get this buttoned up. I'll show you the bit in a second. Okay, so that's all the panels back on. Just finished bleeding the coolant system as well. Fans kicked on, no airlocks in there. Clutch all bled as well. We've been monitoring the clutch slave pipe, clutch master pipes, and heater core pipes down there. You can hardly see them with all these panels on there, but happy to say they're all okay, all dry, no leaks. Got the old pipes here of the heater core. This, I believe, is the left hand side one, and inside there is the rubber O-ring. Got it right here, and this just goes flat and doesn't do its job, and you get all the coolant will eventually leak out of this, and it's a very slow leak, so it takes ages to find. We actually had to pressure test this car to find it, because we had it jacked up, we were looking everywhere, couldn't see it, and then after a little while, after pressure testing, it actually appeared, and you could see it leaking around the subframe area and the back of the exhaust. This is the other one, the right hand side one. Haven't taken the O-ring out of this, but you can see it inside there where this plastic piece ends on the inside, and you can see how flat that is. So I'm not actually sure if you can change the O-rings alone. I think you can. If you take these out and you get some O-rings, you can measure them up and size them up and fit them. But we opted for the new hoses. They're not that expensive from the dealer, so might as well. And this car is being used daily, so there's a lot of mileage, so it makes sense to change the hoses while we're doing all this work and we're in the area as well. So if this is something that you're doing, you have one of these cars, it's not difficult, it's a little bit fiddly, so you can take your time and do this yourself. Hope this video helps. Go back inside, finished up everything in here as well. Put the seat back a bit. So get in there. There you go. Clutch master all in place. Working fine. No leaks from on the inside here. No leaks on the outside as well. So now we'll take this for a test drive. Make sure everything's okay. Okay, so that's it for this video. Gonna wrap things up, take this for a drive. Thanks for all the comments, the likes and the subscribes. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit that button, hit that like button also, and we can bring more and more videos like this to you. If you do have Ford Focus ST and you're suffering with the same problem with the heater core hoses and the clutch pedal feeling spongy, or if you're just seeing leaks in the footwell area, now you have a video to guide you through it. So I hope this helps anyone that comes across this, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.